Today, we are talking all about the fascinating world of self-improvement and personal growth because there's no shortage of that on this podcast. Am I right? In all honesty, today we have an exciting topic to dive into, which is building trust with your body and your mind in order to make confident decisions in your life and in your business. Trust really is the foundation of personal growth and self-assurance. And so I want to explore what it looks like when we cultivate trust within ourselves. You are listening to That Big CEO Energy, where we talk all things business, life, marriage, and push you to a new edge of discovering what that big CEO energy means for you. Listen, I understand that we have barriers that we carry from when we were once employees, and those have impacted us as we continue to build our businesses. I'm here to walk alongside you and give you encouragement through interviews with friends and other women in business who have broken down those barriers and paved their own way. Tune in with me as we uncover some of the unconscious things that we do that keep us from building that big CEO energy we've always dreamed about. Let's dive in. Trusting ourselves can be super challenging, especially when we are faced with difficult decisions or uncertainties in our business. But I think there's something to be said about trusting our body and our mind that we can tap into our inner wisdom in order to make confident decisions. A few podcasts ago, I talked about how confident decision making and what you can do to do that. But I think one of the key things that came out of that for me was this component of trust. And so I really want to emphasize on that today. And I'll link the Confident Decisions podcast in the show notes if you are looking to start there. But really, trust is the key to unlocking our potential. And I was thinking the other day, when was the last time that I trusted myself? Like, it trusted myself so fully, right? That when a decision came across my desk or came across my life, I trusted myself to right then and there make a confident decision. I think it might be all about developing a deep connection with ourselves, learning to listen to our intuition and really honoring the signals that our body and our mind send us. It's no surprise, right, that I have been on this holistic journey, I think almost 2 years now. And it really stemmed from I had to trust myself enough to know that something else was going on, right? And I talk a little bit about my journey of my body acceptance, but also trusting myself on what was happening internally in my body. So your blood work obviously is a huge factor. And so I got my blood work. I remember this vividly. I got my blood work back 2 years ago, and it was horrendous. And I took the advice of my PCP at the time, which I still go to. I love her very much. She's great on a lot of things. And she sent me directly to the rheumatologist. She was like, something's going on here, yada, yada, yada. Due to your symptoms, you got to go to the rheumatologist. And I just trusted her. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that works. And I went to the rheumatologist and I got put on methotrexate. I almost forgot the name of it. I got put on methotrexate, which is, if you don't know, it's a drug for cancer patients, basically. But they use it in rheumatology because it interacts well, and it's one of the oldest medications that is being used right in that area. So I went and I showed up to the doctor, the rheumatologist, and he said, based on your blood work, your symptoms, what you're feeling, I really feel like you have seronegative rheumatoid arthritis. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. And I'm going to put you on methotrexate. And we need to do a follow-up blood panel. I think it was like every month or something for a little bit. And then, it spreads out, whatever. But you got to make sure that like your liver and your kidneys aren't shutting down, basically, because that's what it tends to do, because it's for cancer patients. And I didn't even blink an eye. I was like, yeah, I trust you. Sure, that sounds great. And I was miserable. It was the most awful time of my life. I didn't feel, physically I felt better, right? Physically I felt okay. But the symptoms that came with it were really, really wild. And I started to doubt myself. Like, did I do enough? Did I make a right decision? And I started to realize that I didn't trust myself. I trusted other people to take my health into their hands. And so I ended up going to this women's conference at church, and there was a woman there that also had rheumatoid arthritis, and she was talking about her healing journey. And for this episode, I'm not going to get into it, but I left feeling like I really didn't trust myself. I didn't trust God. I didn't trust anyone but someone in modern medicine to tell me what was going on. And it was right then and there that after she had prayed for me, she gave me the name of a homeopathic doctor. And this is the wild part. So I schedule an appointment with the homeopathic doctor, and I walk in and I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to be in a running club. Okay, first of all, there was a time that I ran. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to move on. I was crazy. I was in a running club with her. And I was like, I did not know this is what you do. And instantly I felt this connection, and I explained to her. She looked at my blood work and she was like, this protocol is what we should be doing. And I talk a little bit about in my Esher journey, which I'll link that episode below too. I talk a little bit about how we figured out that really this inflammation that I had, right, all of my blood markers was because I had Esher in my body. And I'm sure there are other factors too. But it literally was giving me the symptomology of seronegative rheumatoid arthritis. Honest. And so, yes, I started to trust her, but I also started to trust myself to start making different decisions as far as eating a little more organic. And I know people are going to come for me and they're going to be like, there's no difference. There is a difference. Do your research. I'm not going to talk about that here. Switching things out of, non-toxic things in my home, slowly transitioning and trusting that the decisions that I'm making are beneficial to me and not to what the doctors had said previously. And so as I started to develop this trust, not only in myself, but in the way in which God was leading me, I started to develop this deeper connection with myself. And I started to really lean in and listen to the intuition, which if you're a Christian or, you have that journey, listen to the Holy Spirit, and honoring the signals that my body and my mind were trying to tell me and listening to what it had to say. And there was a time when I was working in corporate that I became this yes person, because I thought that when I was hired and I was moving up the leadership role, that I was valuable. And so other people, my leaders, wanted to invest in me. So they gave me more work. They trusted me with, leading projects and whatever. And that's all really great. But at the end of the day,
it didn't make me happy. And I became this yes person that the only way that I thought that I was going to be quote unquote successful, which I will link the episode to Silvana Gatto, and you can listen to that. She talks all about, the success piece, which is not dollar amount, but that's what I was chasing. When I wanted to be successful in terms of monetary value, that is when I started being the yes person, and I started trusting my leadership to get me there. Because I was doing X, Y, and Z, right? Because I was, taking on initiative, and I was doing all of these things to prove that I was worth the next level, that I was ready for the next level, and I was ready to be successful. And I didn't trust myself enough or trust God enough to really look introspectively and say, is that actually what I want? And so when I made the decision to leave corporate, it really was a decision of trust, of trusting myself that I have enough mental fortitude, I have enough information, I have enough, honestly, revenue coming in that I can make a pivot and I can do this. But I also had to trust that I was going to be able to be sustainable. And working on my health was something that was so important to me. And I will always say this. And if you are a woman that is struggling with your body, please hear me. Please hear me. I'm loving on you. It doesn't matter what size you are. It mattered to me what my blood work said. Am I healthy? Is my heart functioning okay? Is my blood pressure okay? Beyond that, what are my health markers in my blood work saying? Am I getting yearly blood work? And making sure that they are testing everything for the thyroid to really understand and use that as the mark of I am healthy. It is not what the doctor is saying. It is not what society is saying by you having to look a certain way or be a certain size. And right now, I am, full transparency, working with an obesity doctor who is fully invested in looking at the blood work every step of the way to understand what is happening behind the scenes that is causing me to either not lose weight or whatever. And losing weight, right, for me, is not just about how I look. It's not about that. It is about how I feel. And I know that when I am feeling good, and I'm feeling good in my skin, and I'm getting nutritional counseling that, as my body changes, I'm being able to change, not just what I'm eating, but how much and all of that garbage. But when I work with somebody who is invested in my health just as much as I am, I trust them, yes, but ultimately it's my decision to trust my body. And it means understanding and respecting the signals that my body is putting out. So currently, I have lost 20 pounds because I was feeling really inflamed and I was not making good choices. And so I had to do the work, right, to reduce the weight that I had on because it literally was impacting my blood markers. And so removing excess fat and whatever in tandem of looking at the blood factors, that was really what helped me drive and be able to work with somebody to lose the weight. But I had to trust myself enough to say, I'm not going to let this mentally affect me. This is my body telling me through blood work that it's not feeling good. And I need to do something about it. Body acceptance is not about, oh, I feel good and I look good at a certain weight, and so everybody just needs to get on board, and they have slowly transitioned to this body positivity. Body acceptance to me means that I am accepting where I am currently, but I also am trusting myself enough to know when my body needs to change. And so this is all going to come together, but our bodies have an incredible ability to communicate with us, whether it's through physical sensations, emotions, gut feelings. And so how can we really start building that trust? One way is through mindful practices, right? Such as meditation or body awareness exercises. But these techniques really allow us to slow down, observe the thoughts that are happening and the physical sensations that are happening, and build a deeper connection with ourselves. By being in the present moment, we can learn how to trust our signals of our body that it sends us and make choices that align with who we authentically are. And by cultivating this mindfulness, we often become attuned to our body's needs and desires. And it's really about creating a space for self-reflection and self-compassion. And so for some people, that looks like meditation. For some people, that looks like prayer. For some people, that looks like just sitting in the quiet. And another powerful tool, obviously, is taking care of our physical health, where we, engage in regular exercise. Look, I am not good at that. I talked about eating nourishing foods, but also prioritizing rest and relaxation. I think we get so caught up in doing more and being more. And if you're not doing all of this stuff and things, then society is not, you're not part of the group. You're not part of the cool kids club. But there's something really powerful in rest and relaxation. Now, don't get it twisted. Rest is not doing nothing at all. Active rest is shutting your body down enough so that it can rev up later. It's not throwing everything to the side and doing absolutely nothing, but it's allowing your body to fully relax and come into what it's trying to tell you in your mind and body connection. And when we honor our body's needs and provide them with the support that they require, we in turn build a foundation of trust that enables us to make confident decisions. And our physical well-being directly impacts our mental and emotional state. I want to talk a little bit about how we can focus building trust with our minds, because that's really what we came here to talk about. But building trust with our minds involves this developing a strong sense of self-awareness and self-acceptance. It's important really to recognize that our thoughts and our beliefs, our understanding of how we, shape our perception of ourselves and the world around us. By challenging the negative or the limiting beliefs and replacing them with positive and empowering ones, we build the confidence in our decision-making abilities, right? When I talked about in the previous episode that we need to look fear in the face, and I am not ever done talking about looking fear in the face. But it's recognizing that there's something negative going on here and tapping into that. What is that? Where is that coming from? Is that stemming from childhood trauma? Most of the time it is. Is that stemming from trauma really being in my daily life? Sometimes it is. But when we reflect on that, when we look inward to our body and to our mind, we are able to objectively look at it and say, okay, I see you. And I'm also going to combat it by doing whatever it is, fill in the blank. But we start to build this confidence and this trust within ourselves to be able to listen intuitively and make the confident decisions. So it's really about cultivating a growth mindset and reframing our thoughts to support the goals and aspirations that we have. But building trust with our minds also involves embracing the vulnerability and taking risks. You have to hold to both in tandem. But when we step out of our comfort zone and we face the challenges head on, we learn to trust our abilities and we create resilience. So when that happens again, we're able to quickly snap ourselves out of it. And as time goes on, it no longer shows up because fear is no longer sitting in the bus. It is like outside on the side of the road, in the ditch maybe, and joke around a lot. Make a hard left turn into a ditch, right? So Vanna Gatto mentioned in our episode that success is forward and to the right? Forward and to the right. That's where success is. Well, we're taking a hard left turn into a ditch. That is where we're placing fear, right? It's through those experiences that we truly grow and gain confidence in our decision making. Trusting ourselves is this continuous process that requires practice and patience, honestly. Patience with yourself, patience with other people. Patience I don't have. My husband will tell you that, bless him. I do have patience to a certain capacity, but it's about embracing the journey of self-discovery and really allowing ourselves to make mistakes along the way. You know, this is not built overnight. It's a gradual process that sometimes will seem really long, but it requires this self-compassion and understanding from yourself. Remember, every decision, whether it's right or wrong, is an opportunity for growth and learning. I'll say that again. Every decision, whether it's right or wrong, is an opportunity for growth and learning. The most important aspect is to start where you are and be consistent. And I'm talking to myself a little bit here because I rolled my ankle. Y'all, I'm a mess. Okay. This is obviously an episode where I'm letting you know that I'm a mess and it's okay. But I fell downstairs at therapy, coming out of therapy. Not once, but twice. But the second time really got me. And so I've been down for like a month, not being able to like move my body because frankly, my ankle hurts. And it literally looks like it looked like a balloon. It's much better this week. I feel like next week I'll be able to go back to the gym. But the point is, at any other time of life, where you are is where you start, and be consistent. Take small steps, both physically and mentally, to start building your trust in yourself and make it a daily practice. Look, I'm going to insert journaling here again. Is that a surprise? But when you can get your thoughts out on paper is when you really, or on a keyboard, whatever your jam is, I don't care. But you can really start to notice a shift in your confidence and decision-making abilities. When you are trusting and putting down on paper your true thoughts and feelings on where you are, meeting yourself where you are, and trusting that you have the power within you to make confident choices, not only to lead your life, but to lead your team. You know, if you lead a team of people. If you are a woman-owned business and you even have contractors, right? Making confident decisions and letting people know what you need is super important. But you can't get there if you don't even trust yourself on what those decisions are. Remember that building trust is this lifelong journey, right? We're never going to get it right 100% of the time. Trust is going to come and go. It's going to be situational. But if you commit to trusting yourself in making confident decisions by cultivating this mindfulness, self-awareness, and self-acceptance, you really can unlock your inner wisdom and make true confident decisions. And so that's my encouragement for you today, is that you really take some time, that if you feel like you are reaching out to other people to make decisions for you, you lack trust within yourself. And so how can you build trust within yourself so that you show up in your business, you show up in your life, being able to make confident decisions and tell people what you need? It's not about being bossy. It's about being confident to know where you are in life and where you are heading. And those people that are surrounding you, when you are confident in saying to them, I really am struggling and I would like help in X, Y, and Z area, and these are the things that are coming up within that, they're able to step in and help. Right? It's the same within the business. You get a VA, you get an online business manager, you get a fractional COO like myself, because you think that if someone can just come in and tell me exactly what I need and get everything on track, I'll be good. I'll be super good. Friends, if you are not in a mode of making confident decisions and you are not trusting yourself to position yourself in making confident decisions and letting people know where your journey is, what you are doing currently, where you need to go, and then letting them break it apart and say, okay, this is what we need to do. If you don't even have that laid out, nobody's going to come in and fix it. Nobody will be able to come in and fix it, because there are a few things that we need to fix first. So my encouragement to you is, how can you build trust within yourself? How can you then take that trust and execute confident decisions that you know without a doubt are ones that are going to serve you in your business, are going to serve you in your family, are going to serve you within your life? The how comes from the self-discovering, the self-awareness, and the self-acceptance. So where are you on that scale? Friend, I hope that you begin to trust yourself. Trust yourself so fully that making confident decisions is the easiest part of being a CEO of your life and your business.
Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you heard something that helped you, I would love it if you would leave a review and share it with your friends. This helps more people just like you become inspired to move the needle of their big CEO energy into a positive direction. If you would like to learn more about how I can help you streamline and position your business for growth, or lead your business as a CEO, feel free to jump into the show notes with all of the links to find me. And don't forget to head over to Instagram so we can be pals.